choir made of wires.
Speed lane sermon spoken out in tires.
You believe in freedom, but your hands still shake
when the gravity of this decision starts to break.
I don't need a title made of gold and flame, just a hush
that falls when they whisper my name.
From the lowest ramp to the highest steel, every inch of Skylane serves what I feel. Skylane Tyrant,
I proclaim the war on fear. Any car that flinches loses right to be here.
If you break too soon when the drop goes white, you'll be exiled from this sovereign night. Skylane Tyrant,
hear the chorus in the wind, every chanting engine calling me to win. If you want to stand where the ruthless never yield,
bring your best and bleed it on this rising like a bridge into the stars.
I can feel the outcome humming in the bars.
You're still on my tail, but your courage slants
as the anthem hook turns your hopes to change.
Skylane Tyrant,
when the checkered ghost appears, I will lock the skyline for another 1,000 years. If you ask who rules where the burning lanes collide,
they'll say the one who never moved us. Fastlane outgunned, I can see your numbers shine. Horsepower like a cannon on the starting line. Everyone is whispering that I don't stand a chance, but they've never felt this right foot trance.
Spec sheet verdict says I'm dead before I start, but I keep the revs like a war drum in my heart.
You've got turbos, forged steel, all that heavy chrome. I've got one late break and a line I call home. Fastlane outgunned, I don't care about your power. I will flip the script in a single blazing hour. If you think I'll lose because the engine's not enough, watch me drop the hammer when the road gets rough.
Fastlane outgunned, I'll erase your dino pride with a fearless downshift on the mountainside.
If it comes to fire, I'll just step in even more, overriding firepower on the floor.
You launch like thunder,
Rockets in your veins,
I watch your tail lights stretching out the lanes. But I never panic, I just hold the inside rail, waiting for the moment where your courage fails. Driver bear, I can hear the tires scream.
every tiny slide is a crack inside your dream.
Trotting piano marks the apex in my mind. Every stabbing chord is the gap I'll find.
Fastlane outgunned, I will hunt you in the bend, turn your straight line kingdom to a narrow dead end. If you only know how to win on open ground, you will drown in corners when the walls close round.
Fastlane outgunned, I will take back what you stole with a deeper entry and an iron soul.
When you lift in terror as the cliff comes near, I'll be flat up in cutting through your fear.
Headlights carving symbols on the canyon wall.
Your big turbo shadow starting to look small.
You step the pedal harder, but you still can't hide
From the way I throw this chassis into every slide.
guardrails watching as I dive where you won't go. Paint a different verdict in the undertow.
You've got all the fire, I've got all the nerve. This is where the weaker heart will swerve. the strain. You still have the power, but you lost the lane. I'm already alongside, engine on the brink. Both of us at Redline with no time to think. One last heartbeat, one last meter in the sun. Everything we are compressed to one. You trusted firepower, I trusted how I feel, and I crossed the line first in this outgunned steel. Fastlane outgunned, ride it clear across the night. That I beat the monster with a smaller bite. When they ask how I survived this horsepower war, tell them more than power, I just dare to push it more.
Redline War Prayer. Redline War Prayer. Redline War Prayer. Kneeling on the steel. Hands on the wheel instead of folded to kneel. I don't look at heaven when the countdown starts to glow. I just ask the engine, are you ready? Let's go. Quiet shots rising like an army in the sky. Voices of the reckless who refuse to die. Power chords crashing like a banner in the wind. Every note a promise that we won't give in. Redline War Prayer. I'll send it through the gears, burning all my doubt, purging all my fears. If you wanna see what my faith is really worth, meet me at the limit where the revs shake the earth. Redline War Prayer. I don't whisper, I just roar. Let the pistons sing what I'm fighting for. If the gods are listening in the asphalt night, now here I came to win, not to beg for the light. Headlights like candles on a high-speed shrine. White lines stretching like a battlefield line. You bow to safety, I bow to the start. My only sacred relic is the soul of my heart. Horns on piano hammers out my creed. Chords like scripture in the language of speed. I don't need a sermon when the doubt begins to climb. Every screaming needle is a hymn in time. Redline War Prayer. I'll shout it in the rain, over thunder, over engines, over pain. If I fall tonight, let me fall at full send, with my promise kept up to the very end. Redline War Prayer, on the edge of steel and flame, carving hallelujahs in the lanes of this game. If the answer comes in sparks on the guardrail wall, I'll still thank the road for hearing it at all. Choir shots hit and the chorus breaks the dark. Voices like a storm around the racing mark. Power chords marching like boots on stone. I stand up in the cockpit, but I'm never alone. Every rival shadow is a doubt I have to kill. Every sideways heartbeat is a test of will. You can clutch your talismans and hope to survive. I just slam the pedal and keep the prayer alive. Redline War Prayer. I'll engrave it in the smoke, in the rubber, in the corners that I almost broke. If I make it through with my spirit still on fire, that's the only blessing that I ever require. Redline War Prayer. When the final lap begins, I will trade my fear for a guarantee to win. If my voice runs out, let the red line take my place, screaming hallelujah at the end of this race. Straightaway opens like a gate of burning gold. All the stories we believed in finally unfold. You're beside me, reaching for a higher gear. I answer with a battle cry the whole road hears. Redline War Prayer. As the finish comes in sight, I will push push my faith through the core of the night. If I cross that line with the echo in my chest, then I know the road itself has called me.
Manifold, hear the pipeline start to sing. Silver veins of fury running into everything.
All the pressure building in the shadows of the frame. When I hit the trigger, nothing stays the same. Dual eyes are screaming like a storm that won't let go. Layer over layer till the world's about to blow.
On printed piano sketching targets in the night. Every stabbing chord a lock on sight.
Nitrous Manifold, I converge it in one shot. Every separate jet becoming one white hot.
If you're in my way when the slam comes down, you'll be scattered in the blast on the edge of town.
Nitrous Manifold, feel the chassis start to quake. Every line is loaded for the hit I'm gonna make.
If you can't keep up when the boost begins to climb, you'll be shattered in the fracture of my overrack time. Hood down, skyline bending in the glass. Guardrails watching as our destinies amass.
You think it's just torque, just numbers on a gauge. You don't see the spell I'm writing in this rage.
Engine is the heart, nitrous is the blood, rushing through the branches like a cobalt flood.
All your careful tuning, all your textbook pride
Mean nothing when my manifold decides.
Nitrous Manifold, I unite the separate flames. Turn 100 whispers into one that breaks the chains.
If you try to block when the pressure hits the seal, you'll be blown apart by what I make real.
Nitrous Manifold, when the doors align, you can hear the future tearing down the line. If you
Doubt my force when the skyline starts to bend, you'll be dust inside the wake of how I end. First stage rising like a low and distant roar. Second stage climbing till the ground's a shaking floor.
you reach for courage as the needles start to spin, but the boost you're feeling is the one I've locked within.
Slam drop landing on the one like a fist. All the air crushed tight in a single twist.
Your silhouette breaks in the shockwave like I'm a streak of light across the night.
Nitrous
Manifold, I don't need a second try. All I need's the straight where I kiss the sky.
If you think you're safe in your balance field, you'll be broken by the thrust my veins can yield.
Nitrous Manifold, on the razor of the
stretch, glowing like a chamber set to fire. You're already fading while I only climb higher.
Dual lies is cutting up the silence in your head. Every pulse reminding you what you dread. You wanted fair play on a calm, clean road. I brought clustered lightning in a combat mode.
This isn't just speed, it's a focused storm, built to crush the limits of your normal form.
Nitrous Manifold, when the final gear engages, all your small advantages vanish into ages.
If you're still behind when the jets unite, you'll be fragments in the night's white light.
Nitrous Manifold, as the checker ghost comes down, I detonate the distance and erase your crown.
When the engines cool and the echoes finally fade, they'll talk about the plasma manifold. Apex kill switch.
Apex kill switch, see the corner in my sights. One thin silver angle through the blackout lights. You're still breathing steady, thinking you're in control.
But I've got my finger on the line that ends your roll.
Cut effects slicing through the engine's roll.
Choke stops drop you to a silent floor.
Trying to piano like a flashing warning sign.
I'm about to pull the plug along your racing line.
Apex kill switch,
I can shut your power down with a single move at the edge of this town. If you're still beside me when the sound cuts out, you'll be lost in the blackout of my overtake route.
Apex kill switch, feel the heartbeat disappear when the world goes mute and I'm all you hear.
If you can't stay calm when the noise is gone, you'll be dead in the gap before the beat comes on. One breath, all the volume ripped from the night. One breath, then I turn out your light. One breath, all the volume ripped from the night. One breath, then I turn out your light. Headlights strobe on the guardrail steel.
Shadows twitching like they know what I'll feel.
You defend the apex like a fortress made of chrome.
But I can kill the circuit and take your throne.
Dry air pressing when the mix goes thin.
No reverb left, just your terror and my grin.
You reach for grip as the tires start to slide.
But I already chose the moment you'll collide. Apex kill switch when the sound drops to zero. I become the only just met the end of my apex switch. Kill switch when the last lap starts to burn. I will cut the power on your final turn. If you can't survive when the world goes dead, you'll fall in the pause, and I'll be racing ahead. On the skyline ringing out a silent vow. Two cars waiting where the world can't see us now. The lights facing like a pair of drawn out swords. On this midnight courtroom we don't need words. Hear a chronic piano like a heartbeat in the haze. Every chord a promise that will set this place ablaze. All the years of chasing, all the grudges in our veins, come down to one night on these elevated lanes. Rival Ultima Pact, we will seal it in the dark. At the speed where hesitation leaves a mark. If we're still alive when the morning cuts through black, we accept the truth that we can walk this back. Rival Ultima Pact, signing burning rubber lines on a strip of asphalt where the neon blind. If you can't keep up when the engines scream our names, you were never meant to carry these flames. Bells fading, engines rising like a choir of steam. No more someday, only what we feel. Snaring kick building like a verdict in my chest. Sending every heartbeat to the overdrive test. To inch forward, smiling with its stubborn pride. I breathe in the danger and pull up by your side. Street lights watch us like a jury in the sky. Guardrails listen into the reasons why. We were never made for an ordinary end, so we write our contract in the way we bend. Rival Ultima Pact, when the anthem starts to roar, we erase the distance we have run before. If the night decides one of us will never turn, we accept the cost in the way our engines burn. Rival Ultima Pact, on the razor of the run, there is no forgiveness when the deal is done. If we cross this line with our courage still intact, we have earned the right to bear this pact. Ties spit fire as we launch into the void. Every quiet doubt in our bodies is destroyed. You take the inside, I take the outside wall. Two streaks of lightning in a free fall crawl. Dash lights blur as the red zone glows. Every passing second is a death that grows. We don't talk about losing, don't talk about pain. Only about who reaches first the end of this line. Rival Ultima Pact, we are bound by what we chose. No escape clause, no one else who really knows. If the world can't understand why we drive this way, let the fast lane testify what we can say. Rival Ultima Pact, at the limit of the turn, we can feel our histories crack and burn. If we crash and fade in the middle of the
distance as the finish comes in sight.
Engines crying out beneath the city lights.
Side by side screaming through the final glow.
One of us ahead by a breath they'll never know. Rival Ultima Pact as the checkered ghost comes down. We accept the outcome, win or lose the crown.
Cause the last agreement that we wrote in speed and black
Was to give it everything and never take it back.
Overrun Blacksteel, feel the chassis start to roar.
Armor in the paint, shadow grinding on the floor.
Every welded panel hides 1,000 broken fears.
I erase them on the fast lane, shifting through the gears.
Metallic lead screaming through the center of my mind.
Heavy calm drums beating like a war you can't rewind.
Grind quick and our hammers out the battle code.
Every note a track mark on this blackened road.
Overrun Blacksteel, I will crush this line of doubt. Rolling through the night till the weak are shaken out.
If you stand before me when the engines are revealed,
You'll be buried under wheels of Overrun Blacksteel.
overrun Blacksteel, hear the tarmac bend and shake.
Every meter
Conquered,
is a kingdom I will take.
if you can't keep pace when the red zone starts to peel.
You'll be swallowed by the wake of Overrun Blacksteel. Headlights carve sigils on the mountain's broken spine.
Guardrails glint like blades as I cross the crimson line.
You rely on fortune, I rely on forged resolve.
All your paper courage starts to warp and dissolve.
Heavy pressure on the kick end on your chest.
Every impact hit puts conviction to the test.
furnace in the sky.
Every shadow stretches as the weaker spirits die.
You can hear me coming in the clatter of the gears,
Rolling like an armored answer to your years.
metal grinding low where the underbody scrapes.
Every near miss bending destiny shapes.
You hold your breath when I dive into the turn, but I let the backslide, feel the black steel burn. Overrun Blacksteel.
I don't flinch or turn away.
If the cost is everything, I'll gladly pay.
When the limit screams and the painted lines congeal.
I just push straight through with Overrun Blacksteel.
Overrun Blacksteel when the final lap ignites.
I will press the weight of all my days into these nights.
If I fall, I fall with my hands upon the wheel.
But I won't break,
Only the world.
beneath my Corner Blitz Law. Corner Blitz Law. Corner Blitz Law, feel the atomic start to shake.
Every painted curve is a rule I'm gonna break.
Headlights flash across the canyon of the night.
I engrave the blitz code in a single burning line.
Rapid fills rumble like artillery in my chest. Brass
Stabs crashing like a charge without a rest.
wanna chant a piano, hammers out the creed.
Every chord a doctrine written into speed. Corner Blitz Law, I define it with my wheels. Every sideways heartbeat is the gospel that it seals. If you want to live where the lightning cuts the draw, you must ride the edge and carve the blitzing law. Corner Blitz Law, on the razor of the bend, I enforce the battle code until the very end. If you can't commit when the G4 starts to claw, you'll be judged and broken by the Corner Blitz Law.
Guardrails watching like a jury on the hill.
Every skid mark proof of who has iron will.
You throw your car inside, but your faith is thin.
I'm the storm attraction, you can't cage or pin.
Drum fills rolling like a drum line into war.
Brass stop screaming, take a little more.
I don't wait for mercy, don't request appeal.
I just drop the nose and let the tires feel. Corner Blitz Law, I attack without a pause. Every lap I run rewrites the mountain's laws. If you fall behind when the apex starts to draw,
You'll be sentenced silent by the Corner Blitz Law.
Corner Blitz Law, feel the lightning in your bones. Flash of metal justice in the overrun zones. If you doubt yourself as the distance starts to gnaw,
You'll be torn away beneath the blitzkrieg claw. Heat haze swirling like smoke from broken shields. Neon sky burning over battlefield fields.
you try to hold the line with a trembling hand, but I come in rapid like a strike you can't withstand.
EP stabs marking every turning point, like a stamp of judgment on the mountain joint.
You wanted just a race, I brought a doctrine here,
Where hesitation dies and only claws appear.
Corner Blitz Law, when the last lap starts to scream, I will push so hard I tear apart the dream. If I crash and burn, then I crash at full draw.
feel the chill across the glass. Headlights line like tombstones as the ghosts fly past. In the dark above the city on this hanging road of steel, there's a shadow in the fast lane that decides what's real. Crying piano carves a warning in the line. If your nerves start shaking when the G-force begins, you can feel the Reaper smiling as the hunting starts again.
Skylane Reaper Run on the lanes where cowards die. If you lift your foot, you'll be the next one passing by. When the dark comes down and the throttle's all you've got, he will cut you from the traffic like a single final shot.
Skylane Reaper Run. Hear the engine's funeral hymn. Every screaming tire makes the skyline dim. If you can't hold on when the death wind starts to roar, you'll be written in the smoke on this elevated floor.
Guardrails gleaming like a row of sharpened teeth, waiting for the weak to drift a little underneath. You can see the skid marks where the names were torn away. Reaper marks and still that never fade to gray.
Dark minor chords like a choir in the rain. Bassline rumbling like a train of pain. You keep your hands tight, knuckles glowing white. Buddies pacing in your mirror, painted in the night. Skylane Reaper Run. If you falter, you are done. He will harvest hesitation one by one. On this hanging strip of heaven that the sinners overdrive, only those who trust their speed can stay alive.
Skylane Reaper Run, feel the heartbeat start to stall. Every late reaction is another soul to haul. If you can't keep pace when the city lights are spun, you'll be taken by the shadow of the Skylane Reaper
Overhead signs flash like warnings from the dead. Do not slow, do not fear, do not turn your head. But the ones who read too long and doubt their place end up drifting into darkness, vanish without trace. Rim shots crack like the ticking of your time. A speed slice through like a crooked nursery rhyme. You try to change lanes, but your courage locks up tight, and that's when you feel him closing in from the right. Doesn't need a sight, just a gap and a turn. Just a flash of silver where your tires burn. You don't hear a word, only wind and a scream as you fall out of the legend and away from the dream.
Skylane Reaper Run, I refuse to be his prey, so I pin the throttle down and tear the night away. If he wants a soul, he'll have to chase me to the sun. I will outrun death on the Skylane Reaper
Skylane Reaper Run. On the razor of the air, where the ones who fear the edge are never there. If you want to ride where the living meet the gun, you must stare back at the Reaper and keep running till he's gone. Zero range overturn. I will not go quietly home. I'll cross this line harder than your metronome. If I burn out trying to rewrite my fate, at least I chose the ending at my own rate. Fastlane overturn when the checkered ghost appears. All your heavy words will fall like rusty spears. If you're looking for the proof of who was wrong, check the finish line. I've been right The needle climbs, the world begins to blur.
All that ever mattered narrows down to her.
That finishing line like a sword across the sky. One of us will own it, one of us will die. Red zone drag baron, I erase you in the flame.
All your years of ruling crash into your name.
If you cannot match the fury that I bring, you'll be just a rumor of a long forgotten king.
Red zone drag baron as the checkered ghost comes down.
I will cross ahead and steal your fallen crown.
When the engines fade and the night forgets your roar,
They'll call me the new lord of the red line floor.